It's Robin Miller at Texas Motor Speedway as the midnight hour approaches. They said tonight's race was a hell of a show. I wouldn't know. I spent most of the night at the infield hospital interviewing drivers after crashing. I think we had 11 cars finish. I just got done going through the paddock. It's got to be one of the five most expensive races in the history of IndyCar racing. I've never seen so many crash cars and junk piled up on top of each other like here. But I know this for a fact. Dale Coyne was mad at Tony Kanaan. James Hinchcliffe was furious with Tony Kanaan. Alexander Rossi was mad at Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon was mad at Takuma Sato. And everybody was mad at somebody because what we had was a pack race, kind of like an old IRL pack race, 4 rows of 2 for a while. Nobody knew what to expect. A lot of people thought it'd be strung out. They didn't think the second groove would come in. I got news for you. The second groove came in. Will Power was smart enough, though. He stayed on the bottom and won the race. Had the most dominant car. Before the race started, Graham Rahal made a pretty good prediction. He said, the toughest guys tonight are going to be the Penske team. Yeah, Honda qualified in the top 8 and looked like they were going to dominate, but Roger Penske's team, especially Will Power and Simon Pagenaud. Castroneves was strong before he crashed and cut a tire, and Joseph Newgarden went from 17th to 2nd like in a millisecond, and then he tried to make it a 3-wide sprint car groove and pounded the wall. Thankfully he was okay. No injuries tonight. Elio, I think, suffered a little bit of a I don't know if he got a concussion or not, but he was a little woozy, 30 minutes after his crash. So what did we learn here tonight? What we learned is that Will Power can still pretty good on an oval, and Chevrolet's not dead yet, and Graham Rahal had another good point tonight, and Tony Kanaan came from 2 laps down to finish 2nd and said afterwards, I don't really care what anybody thinks. So do we like these kind of pack races at Texas? I mean, you watch them with one eye open and one eye closed, but I can tell you this, if you like racing, you probably watched it because you didn't know what was going to happen. They need to get rid of these grass on the infield of places like this and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. If Sato doesn't hit the grass, they don't have that big crash at the end. If it's pavement, it just moves down a little bit. Grass doesn't accomplish anything out here. Make it concrete, put a decal on it when you get a new sponsor for the next race. Same for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. No reason to have grass between turn 1 and the driving lane and the pit entrance lane, pit exit lane. But I digress. Let's talk about Texas one more time. Hell of a run for Gabby Chavez, 5th in the Harding team at their 2nd race ever. And he was competitive all night. And Pagenaud drove like a champion tonight. He shadowed Will for a long time. He battled with Dixon. He battled with Sato, and then he just brought it home like he usually does in 3rd place. Rahal really wasn't anywhere till the end of the race, and then he got aggressive, finished 4th. And our buddy Gabby Chavez was 5th, like we said. So a break for these teams, kind of, because they have to test at Elkhart Lake this week. I'm not sure there's enough cars left to test at Elkhart Lake. We'll see if that happens or not. Thankfully, they got a couple weeks before Elkhart Lake. We won't see any carnage like this, but I'm not sure this series can afford to run places like this. When the winner won $30,000 tonight, guess what the bodywork damage was in this paddock tonight? And bodywork alone was almost $1 million. Maybe I was a little high, $500,000. But all I can tell you is it was fun to watch, I guess. From the hospital, not so much. Thanks for watching.